Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! While you might be getting ready for some turkey, the crypto market is already serving up a main course of pure chaos and opportunity. It is 4 a.m. here, I'm about 6 espressos deep, and my screens are just a wild festival of green candles and disaster headlines. So let's try and make some sense of it all.
And the first thing you need to know is that right now, the dominant feeling out there is just pure panic. I mean, we are seeing widespread anxiety, people are rushing for the exits. It's all being driven by some pretty insane volatility and some very scary headlines.
But you know this game. When retail investors are scared, you have to ask yourself the most important question. What are the institutions doing? Where are the big players, the smart money, placing their bets, while everyone else is panicking? That is the real story.
Okay, let's get right into it. The key to playing in a market like this is being able to separate the short-term distracting noise from the one single game-changing signal. And believe me, today, there is one signal that is screaming louder than absolutely everything else.
Look, the noise is deafening, right? You got a $38 million drain from Upbit, this hammering Solana tokens like Trump, BONK, and Jupe. You've got the thin holiday liquidity causing these wild, unpredictable swings. But honestly, that's all just a distraction. The real signal, the news that actually changes the game, is that Grayscale just filed to turn its Zcash Trust into a Spot ETF.
And this is a huge moment. This isn't just another boring ETF filing. No. This marks a fundamental shift in what Wall Street is hunting for in the crypto space. They're officially moving beyond the basics.
So, really quick, what even is Zcash? It's a privacy coin. So unlike Bitcoin, where every single transaction is public for the world to see, Zcash works to hide those details. This move into privacy coins tells us that these big institutions want more than just digital gold. They're looking for unique, functional tech with a deeper utility.
And you know what? The market has been sniffing this out for weeks. Just look at this number. Zcash is up over 53% in the last 30 days. Come on, that's not random. That's the market front-running the arrival of big institutional capital.
And this quote right here, this just nails the entire thesis. After getting spot ETFs for the big guys like Bitcoin and even XRP, for these institutions to now go after a privacy-focused asset like Zcash, that is a massive statement. They're officially digging into the next layer of the crypto world.
So with this huge institutional move into privacy as our backdrop, let's kind of zoom back out and see how it fits into the rest of the market, which is, well, pretty chaotic. Because while Zcash is making a very clear move, everything else is sending some very mixed signals.
You've got Bitcoin basically in a street fight to hold the $90,000 line. It's caught in this massive tug of war between people taking profits for the holiday and buyers who are all energized by JP Morgan predicting a Fed rate cut. At the same time, you've got Ethereum just knocking on the door of $3,000. Everyone's holding their breath for that Fusaka upgrade in December, which is supposed to be huge, promising to multiply the network's data capacity by 8 times.
And then you look at the altcoin space, and it's just a complete free-for-all. I mean, you've got Caspa absolutely ripping, up over 17%. Avalanche is climbing, writing its own ETF story. And then you've got something like Memecore, which is just an absolute bloodbath, down over 30%. This is pure, raw volatility.
Okay, and this brings us to the most important dynamic playing out right now. We have this massive, widening gap between how the average person feels about the market and what the biggest players are actually doing with their cash.
The proof is right here. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is sitting at a 22. That is not just fear. That is officially extreme fear. And historically, these are the levels of deep panic where market bottoms tend to get carved out. The herd is absolutely terrified.
And check out Bitcoin dominance, holding at 57%. Now this number is crucial. Why? Because when Bitcoin's dominance of the market starts to fall, it means money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into altcoins. If we see this number start to dip down towards, say, 52%, well, that could be the starting gun for an uncontrollable, massive altcoin season.
So it just begs the obvious question, right? If the sentiment index is screaming extreme fear, and regular folks are panic selling before a holiday, who is on the other side of those trades? Who is buying up all this fear?
Well, here it is, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have retail sentiment completely in the gutter. On the other side, you have institutions quietly scooping up coins with nearly $82 million of positive net inflows into ETFs in just the last day and making aggressive moves like the Zcash filing. They're literally buying the fear.
And just pause on this for a second, because the evidence of their hunger is piling up everywhere you look. BlackRock's ETF investors, back in the green. That reduces sell pressure. Ripple's new stablecoin just got a massive green light for institutional use in Abu Dhabi. Visa is doubling down on stablecoins. We have over 75 public companies now holding Bitcoin on their balance sheets, and BNY Mellon, one of the oldest banks on the planet, is launching digital asset services. The institutional appetite is just undeniable at this point.
Okay, so what in the world does all of this mean for the next few weeks? As we barrel towards December, what are the key events and stories you absolutely have to have on your radar?
Think of it like this. On one side, we have the rocket fuel. You've got the ETF story spreading from Zcash to Avalanche. Ripple's stablecoin approval is a huge win. And the hype for Ethereum's big Fusaka upgrade is only going to get louder. But we also have landmines. That S&P downgrade of Tether is spreading a lot of fear and doubt. And the thin holiday liquidity means one big sell order could trigger a nasty flash crash.
So here's your timeline. This week is all about navigating that low volume. Friday, markets reopen, but it's probably just going to be the quiet before the storm. And you need to circle your calendar for next Wednesday, December 4th. The SEC is holding a panel to talk about regulating tokenized stocks. That is the next major battleground between DeFi and traditional finance.
So I'm going to leave you with this. It's a raw idea, but it comes straight from the trading floors. Red days, days filled with panic, they aren't for selling. Those are the moments of maximum opportunity.
So as you look at these crazy charts, you have to decide for yourself. Is a screen full of red candles a signal to run for your life, or is it an invitation to build your position? How you answer that is going to define your entire journey in this market. We'll be back early tomorrow to track all of it. Trust me, I'm not sleeping.